There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me and you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. And be who you are and let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See when new eyes allow and unfold. Embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love and welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. And be who you are and let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here, and you are welcome here. And breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you, and all that you feel, and all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. And be who you are and let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, 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 when we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love
Good morning, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. My name is Karen Ratz, and I proudly serve as a practitioner here at SLCA. We know as metaphysicians that our words matter. So this morning, let's do our call and response and plant these powerful ideas into our lives. How I choose to think creates my personal experience. Therefore, I choose to think affirmatively. I choose to speak affirmatively. I choose to live affirmatively. Not only is this my right, it is my responsibility as a conscious being. I allow myself to be guided, used, and available for the reawakening of everyone's magnificence. The moment is now, and I say yes, yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people in all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and the presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them at this center, and for all religions unnamed in this ceremony.
All right. Good morning, SLCA family. Happy New Year and welcome everyone. We want you to know that we are broadcasting this morning on Facebook live, as we have been doing since March of last year. And we are also broadcasting on YouTube. So welcome to our YouTube watchers and viewers. Welcome to our Facebook family. Welcome to all of our spiritual living family all over the United States. We see you tuning in from California and from Missouri and from Oregon and Texas and all over the place, Alabama. So good morning to each of you. We're so glad that you're here to kick off this new year. Wow, has there ever been a year that's been anticipated more than 2021? So we're grateful that you are sharing your morning with us and sharing your spiritual practice with us as a community. I am David Alexander, the spiritual director here. It's my delight to bring you some announcements and some things that are going on in our center. As always, our grateful giving, we want you to know that it's easy to share your joy and your love through financial contributions to the center. Please do so by text to give is the easiest method, and the phone number is there on your screen. And you'll find other methods, PayPal and direct deposit or other methods available through our website, slca.com/donations, and you'll get connected to all of the wonderful ways. Thank you so much to all of our regular automatic auto tithing and auto contributing members and contributors. We see your gifts come in on the appointed day on a regular basis, and we're so grateful. We would not be here in this new year, having survived 2020 without your ongoing support. So thank you so much for all the ways in which you show up, and you've been steady and regular in that for us, and we're so deeply grateful. We will do our affirmation for our grateful giving a little bit later on in the service. We want you to have that phone number right up front. All right. Well, it is 2021 and our spiritual living guide is here. This is it right here. This is a copy. You see it's a spiral bound, and this is our guide that we're going to be using all year long to kind of direct us. We made this as a resource for you. This is not based on a class. This is anybody in the community, whether you're local or in California, Texas, Alabama, wherever you are. This is for you. This is your resource to follow along with the sermons, to clarify your own intentions, and to bring those through and reflect on them and fine tune them throughout the year. On a quarterly basis and on a monthly basis and on a weekly basis, with space to journal and reflect on what you're learning from the Sunday messages. So this is our You Belong 2021 Spiritual Fulfillment Guide, and it's available for $20. If you pre-ordered it locally and you want to pick it up, you can pick it up today, right after the service, I think up till about 2 o'clock, or tomorrow on Monday from 10 a.m. to I think 3 p.m. is the time. And if you are out of state and ordered it, please make sure you add that $5 for the shipping, and we'll ship it out. We started shipping before Christmas. So for those of you who ordered early, hopefully you got it by now, and order it this week because you want to kick off right away in following along. So we're so excited about that. A few things that are ongoing, that are part of our ongoing education that you can participate in throughout the week. Of course, our Wednesday night program continues. This is Living the Science of Mind. It's a Q&A format. Takes place during Zoom. Wonderful learnings and teachings happening here. So this is a way to dive deeper with the Science of Mind principles by Ernest Holmes, facilitated by one of our practitioners, or Reverend Carol Anderson. And they're all wonderful facilitators who participate in that. Just register through our website to get the Zoom link for that class. Also on Sunday mornings, we have adult study happening every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. That too is via Zoom. You have to register to get the link. You only have to register once. The link is the same. So if you've participated in the past, save that link for Zoom. It works the same. You don't need to do it each week. But once you do it, you have the information you need to log into that class, and you can come as often as you like, every week or once a month. But I think once you start it, you'll get to enjoy it because it's a great group of people having deep and wonderful conversations. Their conversations are based on the Science Mind magazine and the readings and articles that are in there. So look forward to those continuing spiritual growth opportunities in our center this year online. Next, I want to tell you about a class that I'm going to be doing based on our theme this year, You Belong. So we had our spiritual fulfillment guide, but there's also this book. I've got a copy of it right here. We had done some visioning, and I had decided that the message that was coming through to me that I wanted to share with people this year was You Belong, right? Just a very basic universal message about belonging in the universe. I had no idea that this book existed. In fact, it didn't exist yet in hard form. It was coming out a month later. I think at the beginning of September is when it was published. And so that's the book. And the author, Sabine Selassie, I think is how you say her name. Wonderful author. She's a Buddhist and a mystic, and just very practical writings in here. And so our class is going to cover a chapter a week. There's 8 chapters, 8-week class. You can sign up for that. And so that's based on this. You'll want to get that book to participate in that class. That is different than our You Belong, our Spiritual Fulfillment Workbook. You don't need to be in a class for that. That's just a resource for you for every Sunday. So we want to make sure I'm clear on those two things, but we'll dive deeper into that theme and that message of You Belong through this class. It's going to be on Monday nights, starting on later this month, and all the information is there on your screen. And let me see what's next. Is that all of them? Nope, I got practitioners. Practitioners are available today for you this morning in our chat. So for those of you on Facebook, just instant message. The practitioners are watching either on YouTube or on Facebook. I imagine we have some in both places. They can identify themselves in the comments so that you know. And then when you see their name and they say, I'm a practitioner available for prayer today, you can click on their name and send them a private message requesting prayer. Or you can send a message to us, to the SLCA Facebook page, and we will connect you with one of our practitioners who we know are watching today and get you connected that way. So please just, just chat, type in that you need prayer support or would like prayer support today. We'll find a way to make it work for you this morning and get you connected with somebody right away. We're so grateful for our prayer practitioners and the way in which they hold all of us in a sacred trust and a consciousness that all is well, and that we're always receiving everything that we need in every moment. So thank you so much to our prayer practitioners. And I think that is it for the announcements this morning. We're going to go now to Penelope for our next song. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Spiritual Living Center. Thank you so much, Reverend David. So when we show up, life shows up. And when we begin, love opens up. Thank you for your commitment to our vision. Let's get it. Let's get it going. When we show up, life shows up. Yes, it does. When we begin, love opens up. This is the time to sing out loud. What's next for you, for us, for the world? When we show up to bless and serve, when we begin, evolve and relax, this is the time to say out loud, what's next for you, for us, for the world? You're free to explore all the beauty in store. You're free to explore all the beauty in store. Look out, here we go. You're not only the drop in the ocean, but also the ocean in the drop. You're not only the drop in the ocean, but also the ocean in the drop. When we show up, intentionality. When we begin, embrace uncertainty. Yeah. time to say out loud what's next for you, for us, for the world.
Hey, thank you, Penelope. That was absolutely wonderful. My spirit is all up and all excited and happy. Again, my name is Letitia Dickerson, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. And I am such on a joyous high from that wonderful song. I just, I'm going to take that into this treatment that I am about to serve. I love you guys. Happy New Year. And please take this time to just be happy and joyous and grateful. And with that, I'm going to just slow myself down and ask that you make yourself comfortable, turn inward, and know this for yourself and for the world. But there is only one power, one presence. God. God is. God is. God is all there is. All there is. Everything seen and unseen. God is. There's nowhere or no place that God is not. God is powerful, all power, all love, all knowing. God continuously expresses as love and beauty and joy and always says yes, yes, yes. It expresses as you and it expresses as me. I know that I am an expression of that one power and that one presence, and that it moves through, in, and as me, breathing me. It is me. And as I connect and acknowledge and put myself in this state of knowingness and oneness with this power and this presence, remove any blockages and reside in the truth of who and what I am, and allow this love and this beauty, this all-knowingness to move and express as me and through me. I live in a state of joy and knowing that all of my desires are met. Knowing that this planet is love and beauty and joy, and that everything happens in divine right order and for the highest and greatest good of all. I live in this knowingness and allow myself to remove the personality and be in the being of who and what I really am, and see the truth of this beautiful planet, of the beautiful people that reside on this planet, knowing that their true nature is love. Their true desire is peace and joy. And I'm so grateful for the journeys that we've been through in 2020, and I look forward to the joy and the journey for 2021. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Father, Mother, God. Thank you for this day. Thank you in every way. Thank you for Penelope, for Shannon, for Reverend David, for all those who support this wonderful community and support this word and these teachings of truth and love and joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Father, Mother God. I'm so grateful for each and every one within the sound of my voice, knowing that this is my truth and this is the truth for them. I give thanks for this and so, so much more. And I release these words into the Lord, knowing that it is done, knowing that all is well, and knowing that we are all committed to the vision of peace, love, and joy from now and forevermore. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Peace and joy and Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Letitia. Suddenly, I see the things I used to see so differently. I feel as if I found a new reality. Suddenly, the noise outside my window is a symphony of endless possibilities right in front of me. Winter's cold enough to chill you through and through. And I don't know why the people passing by, they just don't seem to care. Suddenly, I understand the meaning of eternity. I'm reaching out my hand to touch you, now I see. Suddenly, winter's cold enough to chill you through and through. And I don't know why the people passing by, they just don't seem to care. Suddenly, I understand the meaning of eternity. Reaching out my hand to touch you, now I see. Suddenly,
Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Penelope, for that beautiful, prayerful song. Lolita Dickerson, practitioner, for that wonderful prayer. And Penelope for that uplifting start to the new year as I show up. Yes, 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 yes. Good morning, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta family, all across the nation. It is so good to be with you today on this first Sunday of 2021. Wow. What a ride we have been on. It's been 9 months since our last physical service, and we have in that 9 months birthed something completely new, right? Which is this new way of connecting and being, which is going to be with us here for a while, even when we return to physical services, which I believe we will. We'll still have this virtual aspect of who we are because our footprint has grown and because there are so many people who call SLCA home, their spiritual home, all across this nation, who, unless they were traveling and visiting Atlanta, would not be able to be physically in the room with us. So we embrace that. We embrace the newness. We embrace the expanded awareness of community that has informed our hearts, our minds, and our intentions this year. So grateful to be with you on this journey as we begin 2021. I greet you this morning with a tremendous amount of excitement for what we have planned for you, what we've envisioned, and begin to put some legs on, like our spiritual fulfillment guide. I really hope you pick that up and use that. It's got some teaching in the beginning, and then the majority of it is the places for your reflections for each Sunday of the year. The class on You Belong is going to be wonderful. So we're so excited. And I also begin this day and this new first Sunday of the new year with a respectful measure of heavy-heartedness for the losses that we have experienced, not only in our community, but around the world. The loss of life due to COVID, and also just the natural, sometimes surprising and unexpected ways in which people leave this plane. People in our community, and we've had on the slideshow at the beginning of the service, and you'll see it again at the end, of those individuals in our community who have departed this plane of existence, but we know are always with us eternally. And so all of that combined kind of brings me to this poignant moment, this pregnant moment of new beginnings and new possibilities. We have so much to look forward to together as a spiritual family and for ourselves. And I want to cast our vision this morning mindfully, right? Out of respect for the road that we have traveled, the journey that we have been on, and what has brought us here today. And so today will be part sermon and message, as I typically do, and also part ritual. You see, I've got my Tibetan singing bowl here. We'll do a little bit of a miniature version of our burning bowl ceremony, where you can participate virtually and symbolically. We have Ganesh here. Some of you may recognize the Hindu god Ganesh, who is standing in a standing pose. Most of the depictions of Ganesh are of him sitting cross-legged in a meditative pose. Ganesh is the Hindu god that is the remover of obstacles. So very appropriate for a burning bowl ceremony, right? To uses his big elephant trunk to sweep clear the path in front of us, and to remove all obstacles standing in the way of our vision. So we have Ganesh with us this morning, and a little bit of burning bowl. Hopefully this year I won't singe my eyebrows off like I did last year. For those of you who remember, were in the room. The room was packed. We had people all the way to the back wall sitting, and so there was a lot of flash paper in that bowl. And when the flame went up, it was a huge ball that a fire that my face was right in the middle of. Thank goodness Maddie was there to kind of pull on my suit coat a little bit and pull me back. So I don't think we have any risk of that happening today, but you'll be able to participate virtually and get some experience of that release, as well as casting the vision and talking about the title today, which is a commitment to the vision, right? That we take a deep breath and we really get anchored in the sense of what is before us personally and as a community, and that we are committed to that unfoldment. And so in a word or two, the vision that I'm inviting you this year to be committed to, you've already seen it multiple times. It's here on the book next to me. It's on the front of our Spiritual Fulfillment Guide. The vision that I want you to be committed to this year in your life is the vision that you belong, and that you take that in personally, but also that you cast that out to everyone that you see, everyone that you come in contact with, whether it's on the news or on social media or out and about in the world. That that SLCA is broadcasting a message to everyone that says fundamentally, you belong. I think it's a message that the world desperately needs to hear right now. In the midst of so much strife and anger and division and polarization that we have been through, we need to return to something that ties us together. So we'll get into that today and talk about how to commit to that kind of vision. And that is going to be the theme that will run throughout really all of the messages all year long, revisiting that notion of belonging and what that means for us. And so as we begin today, I want to share with you kind of a principle that I live by. And that is that every good beginning, every good and worthy beginning in our life begins with a good ending, right? Every good beginning begins with a good ending. Every new beginning worthy of celebration, worthy of enthusiasm, worthy of our focus and our attention, a fresh new awareness as the new year is for us. Every worthy endeavor, new project, new relationship, new job, new whatever, right? New year, new week, new day. Every worthy new beginning begins with a good ending. Now, what do I mean by that? That may seem strange to you. But to begin with a good ending is a way of saying that every new endeavor, that the potential of success for that new endeavor is based upon the completion of the stage that preceded it. Let me say that again. We got the bell here this morning, right? I want you to get this, that this is a way of saying that every new endeavor's potential for success is based upon the full completion of the stage that came before, right? In Genesis, as the poem of creation is unfolding in the story of Genesis, it says, you'll notice there's an interesting pattern about the days, right? It says, there was darkness and there was light the first day. It doesn't begin with the light. It doesn't begin with the sun rising. It begins with the darkness. There was darkness and light the first day. And then it goes on. You find that pattern repeated very specifically, very intentionally in the language there. This kind of Genesis is like a poem. Dark and light the first day, dark and light the second day, dark and light the third day. There was dark and there was light the fourth day, and so on and so forth. The pattern repeats itself. Creation begins at the end. Right? Creation begins at what we call the ending. The end of the day is really the beginning of the new day. Now, why is this important to bring into this New Year celebration and burning bowl ceremony? Because I imagine that most of us are really, if not now, but leading up to today, have been anxious, excited, ready to start a new year, ready to start a new chapter, ready to put all of 2020 behind us and all of the bad experiences or the things that, and that's not to say that there weren't things that were successful and gifts within 2020. I already mentioned we received the gift of branching out and discovering new parts of our community, people who wanted to be a part of us. And we found ways to connect with that audience, and they're with us right now. We are a broader, more inclusive community through the gift that 2020 gave us. We have people in our community that had great successes in their career and their personal life and what they do in the world. We've sent an email out at the end of the year highlighting some of those, right? Jericho Brown won the Pulitzer Prize for poetry, and I think our Jackson Bass won an award for excellence in real estate with his company, and Gabrielle Claiborne continues to win awards and recognitions for her great work with the LGBTQI community, with the city of Atlanta, and on, many others as well. And by the way, we want that to continue. We want to recognize you when you succeed in your life. So let us know when something like that happens so we can send an email out and share that good news. And, we did for the first time this year, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, virtual Kwanzaa celebration, created those videos for each day of Kwanzaa. We hope you got a chance to watch those. I'm so proud of the team that came together. Gina Harris in Chicago and Baji Daniels here with us. Both practitioners led that and organized, put together a great team. All the people who participated in putting that together. Our Christmas Eve service, I think, was spectacular. So there's many wonderful gifts that we received from 2020, and I'm so proud of our community for coming together and doing those things. And I imagine there are many things about the year that were challenging for us, that were a struggle, and that we're ready to kind of be done with, right? Anybody want to be done with some part of 2020, right? I mean, there's a whole energy that goes behind New Year's of, casting the past behind us and leaping into the new beginning. But I want to make a distinction here this morning about the difference between completion and closure. Because often what we are seeking when we want to be done with some, quote unquote, done with something, is we're saying that energetically, we're saying we want closure. We want to close that chapter. We want to close the chapter called 2020. We want to close the chapter called that past relationship. We want to close the chapter called that thing that didn't work out, that project, that job, that stage of life, that whatever. We want to close it and be done with it. But I want to make the distinction here for you so that you begin to understand that there's a big difference between completion and closure. Why? Because we are on an infinite journey. And closure is really an illusion. Closure doesn't exist. Because you're an infinite spiritual being on an infinite spiritual journey, forever, ever, and expanding into your greater good, closure does not exist. You evolve, you grow, and you come around like a spiral to a new place of awareness about that past relationship, job, year, chapter in your life, and you're at a higher plane of existence, but you're still connected to it. You are complete with journeying through it in that form for this particular time. You are complete with it, but never closed to it. Closure is driven by our ego. And when we think about it, it's a subtle form of control, right? I want closure with that year, with that relationship, with that this, with that whatever, fill in the blank, right? I want closure with that thing. It's a way that my ego says, if I have closure, then I can control the narrative. I can put it out like taking down Christmas decorations. I put it in a box, tidy it, label it, put it in the garage, put it in the back room, put it in the wherever you put your Christmas ornaments, and it's all tidied and packed up and put away. I'm in control. Right? But completion is, so closure is driven by our ego. Completion is driven by our spiritual evolution. To complete something is to go the distance, right? It's to be full in the experience of, right? But completion is not a finality. Whew. Let me say that again. Completion is not a finality. There is no finality in completion. Why? Because we are evolutionary beings. We're forever and ever and expanding into our greater good. You can complete a meal, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be hungry again. Come on, talk to me, somebody, right? You can complete a meal, but because you're complete with that meal, does that mean your hunger is satisfied forever and ever? No, of course not. You'll be hungry again, right? Maybe even sooner than you expected, right? So to be complete with something is to go the distance in that time frame, in that experience, to be complete all the way, a sense of fullness. In this moment, I am full, right? But as the great gospel singer, Abatino Walker, used to sing, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Right? Oh, if you don't know that song, you got to look it up. You got to look it up when you're done with the service today. Look, I love that song. God is not, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Right? Closure is driven by our ego, but completion is driven by our spiritual evolution to say, I want to go the distance. God's not through with you yet. You will be hungry again. You can be complete with a relationship, but God's not through with you yet. You will love again. You can be complete with a career path or with something like that, but God's not finished with you. You have more gifts to give. You have more talent to express. You have more joy to give. You have more creativity. You have more worthiness to be paid and well compensated for, right? To be seen for your talents and your contributions in the workforce, right? God's not through with you yet. Oh, take a breath right there. And just take in that sense. God is not through with me yet. I have more loving, more living, more growing, more learning to do in this life. God is not through with me yet. And when we are complete with the lessons that have brought us to the threshold of this holy moment, we're able to have a sense of completeness about something, right? That's why the whole New Year's reflection is an important point, which is something we can choose at any point in time. We don't need the calendar. We don't need January 1st to do that. We can do that any time of year. We can say, am I complete with this? Am I complete with this chapter? Am I complete with this relationship? Am I complete with this thing? And to ask the question, am I complete? Means that you have paid your full attention. Watch this now. It means you have paid your full attention to that which Spirit wants you to know. You take a test. Are you complete with the test? Just because you get tired of the test, just because you don't think you're doing well, or you don't have the right answers, or you're feeling frustrated, it doesn't mean anything. And just because you want to move on and get to the other side of the test, right? If you're taking a test in school, right, you're not complete until you've gone all the way through, until you've answered all of the questions. Oof, this is good. I hope you're feeling this the way I am delivering it, right? This is so good, this distinction between completion and closure. So often, the desire, watch this. The desire for closure comes from our painful unresolvedness. Is that a word? Painful unresolved, our sense of unresolvedness with completeness, right? We're not complete, but we've gotten uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. And so we want to be done with it. We want to be closed. But if you're closed, you're not open to new experiences. You're not open to the new relationship. You're not open to the new job. If you're not open to the new thing, you're not open to the new prosperity. You're not open to the new health and well-beingness. If you are closed to what Spirit is asking you to be complete with. Woo. Oh, that is so good right there. Come on. But when you're complete with it, it means you've given your full attention and you've asked yourself, have I paid attention to all of the ways in which Spirit would have me learn, grow? All of the insights have come forward, right? So I want you to think right now, because you can't ask that question without all of the insights coming forward. Am I complete with 2020? Not do I desire to be close that chapter. That's an ego question. But in this present moment, am I complete with the lessons, with the insights, with the growth of learning and evolution that Spirit had intended for me in this past calendar year? Right? And simply asking that question will bring to mind the things that you began to be on a journey of learning about. Right? For me, 2020 was so many things, right? I think I shared with some people in this community is by far the most challenging year to manage from a ministry standpoint. And it was filled with so many lessons, right? Being new in this, still fairly new in this community, in Atlanta with my family. And I have a tendency, which is not unusual for ministers who come into a church that has been occupied by another minister for some period of time. And SLCA has a 40-year history Many of you have been around from the good old days with Kennedy Schultz. And so there's this tremendous sense of comparison that nibbles at my brain. Am I doing it right? Am I doing the things that will grow the community the way Kennedy grew the community? Am I I love and respect my friend David Alt, and he's such a great teacher. Am I doing enough to be a great teacher? Are people enjoying me as much as they enjoy him? Silly questions sometimes, right? And so what did Spirit do for me? And I'm just talking to me. I don't know what your experience for 2020 was, but what 2020 was for me was it said, all right, David, here's the things that you have. These are the lessons that you have not been complete with from the past. And so here they are in 2020 for you to get complete with them. Here you go. How for comparison and evaluation and am I enough and all of those things. How about we just change all the rules? What if all the rules change? Like literally all the rules on how to do ministry, what ministry looks like, what the format looks like. So you can't compare to anybody or anything because nobody has been here in this dynamic before. Right? And so I go, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm complete. I'm complete with those lessons. I'm complete with comparing myself and evaluating myself through that rear view mirror lens. And I'm ready to begin this new year looking forward with vision and commitment to that vision that says, I am rightly appointed for my time and space to do what is uniquely mine to do. Right? You feel that? So I want you to take a breath right now, and I want you to inquire with the question, are you complete? Is there anything left over, any insight that you need to download? And Spirit will download it to you right now. Right now. What is it that I really need to get so that I'm prepared to move forward? Spirit will give it to you right now. What is it that I am finished with? I'm ready to let go. And I have here the flash paper that we would use for a burning bowl ceremony if we were all together. And so as insights come to you about what you're complete with, what you're ready to let go, what is no longer serving you, I want you just to imagine that you can write that and that it's represented on this piece of flash paper right here. So just take a few deep breaths and you can just send it, right? There's no distance in spirit. There's no distance in consciousness. So whether you're in Oregon, California, Texas, Chicago, Missouri, right? There's no distance in the mind of God. So you are right here in this room with me. Your hand is holding this piece of paper. You're able to write on this piece of paper whatever it is that you need to let go of. This is yours. It belongs to you, right? Whatever it is. See it here. Feel it. As I receive feeling from every direction that you are putting your intention and energy of what you're ready to let go of onto this paper. And I have placed here in my singing bowl several other pieces of paper just for dramatic effect. All members of our community around the United States and the world. And we're just going to put that in there. And because it's flash paper, I can still ring the bowl. I'm just going to ring it to allow the spirit of clarity. If there's anything else that needs to be downloaded and placed onto these pieces of paper, let it come right now and let it be placed in here. Let that sound of clarity be a clarity in your own spirit. And I'll ring it again when we're done to represent the new clarity of awareness that we have. But right now, we're ready. We're ready to release. We're ready to let go. So take a deep breath and say, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to release everything that belongs in the past. I'm ready for my full completion of lessons learned, insights gained, evolution of my consciousness and spirit and soul have taken place. I am complete with everything that has brought me up to this moment. Yes. Yes. Allow that yes to reside within you as we let go of everything that we're ready to let go of and everything that we are complete with. In 3, 2, and 1. And there it goes. Just take a few more deep breaths as I get my screen back up. There we go. And so now we have a clear horizon in front of us. We understand the distinction between closure and completion. And we're ready to step forward into a new adventure, into a new year, into a new creation. When we are complete, we bring our full selves forward to the present moment. In other words, when we're complete with one thing, we're available to the next thing, right? And so we're available now. I declare that everybody watching this broadcast is available to what's right in front of them. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says, there's a power within you, or within us, he says, there's a power within us which is greater than any condition we can ever contact. It knows no obstruction, no obstacle. It transcends all because it is the final fact of creation, the Almighty indwelling in our souls. The spiral of life is upward. Evolution carries us forward, not backwards. Eternal and progressive expansion is the law, and there is no breaks in its continuity. It seems to me, he says, that our evolution is the result of the unfolding of consciousness of that which already is and needs but be realized to become a fact of everyday life. And so there's an unfolding consciousness of that which already is, which contains the seed of the vision for your life this year. And the essence of that message for you and for me and for everyone in contact with the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta is you belong. I want to spend just a moment, just a very quick excerpt from this book so that you understand what the author is speaking about and what we are talking about. She says, you belong. We are because we belong. Quoting Archbishop Desmond Tutu. She says, do you believe it? Do you believe that you belong? Because you do. You belong everywhere. Yes, you, with all of your history, anxiety, pain. Yes, everywhere. Every culture, community, and circumstance. You belong in this body. You belong in this very moment. You belong in this breath and this one. And you have always belonged. You have always belonged. And she goes on to say that we belong when we are part of the joke, but we belong also when we are perhaps the brunt of the joke. We belong when we feel included. We belong when we don't feel included. She creates these dichotomy scenarios, and she says we belong in all of them. And the reason, and that seems strange when I first read it, I went, oh, that's interesting. It seems kind of strange. I belong when I'm the odd one out and everyone's making fun of me or my type or whatever. And she says, in that moment, you belong. because our belonging is fundamental to our beingness. We belong because God is all there is. We belong because spirit is all there is. We belong because creation is all that there is. And we belong in creation because we exist. Our belonging is not based on circumstances. It's not based on who likes us and who doesn't like us. It's not based on who wins an election. It's not based on what party we're affiliated with. Our belongingness is based in our existence, in the dignity of our self-expression, because you are, and because you long to be in each moment. And then she talks about how we long to connect. So in our spiritual fulfillment guide this year, I talk about how we can take that intention of belonging and that longing to connect and move through the what I call the four intentions of the universe: to connect, to grow, to serve, and to give, and to bring focus, whatever our intention for our own life is this year, to be a better father or mother, or to be a published author, or to be more loving, or to expand in this area or that area, whatever your personal intention is. I invite you to look at it through the lens of the intentions of the universe, that the universe intends for you to connect with other souls, with your own spirit, with your own body, right? To reflect all year long about what connection means in terms of intention. The universe intends for you to grow, right? To not be the same person this time next year, right? The universe intends for you to give. You are a circulatory being. You're breathing out and giving back that which has already served you, oxygen, carbon that your body doesn't need, and then you're taking in everything. Every breath that you take, you're participating in the cycle of giving and receiving. You are a giving machine. You are a receiving machine. You are part of the reciprocal nature of the universe, right? We're here to connect. We're here to grow. We're here to give. We're here to serve. I usually have serve as the third one: connect, grow, serve, and give. We're here to serve each other. We're here to be of use to the world around us, right? And so every quarter in that book, you'll have every quarter an opportunity to vision and focus on that. Every month, an opportunity to connect through those lenses. Ernest Holmes says this, and this is kind of what sparked the idea of the You Belong series this year for us. He says, you belong to the universe in which you live. You are one with the creative genius back of this vast, ceaseless array of motion, this original flow of life. You are as much a part of it as the sun or the earth or the air. There is something inside of you telling you this, like a voice echoing from some strange mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no man has ever seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. You belong to the universe in which you live. And so our job, our task, is to commit to that vision of belongingness, commit to that vision of being fully present to this moment and to our intentions, and to be the place where we can show up for it. Catching the vision and committing to the vision, catching the vision can't happen unless we create a space and we make a decision to be the space where the vision resides in our life. I want you to make a decision right now, to make a decision to be the place where the vision for your life resides. You can't catch it if you don't have a place for it to land. You can't commit to it unless it's living in you. So you have to make a decision to be the place where the vision lives itself out. The vision's not out there, it's in here. And we've created a curriculum and a guide for you this year to allow you to fully understand that all year long, week after week after week, to not let go of that vision and to continue to harness and to craft and create a space for it to be. And so I want to end with this blessing. I'm going to do it, and I invite you to go back and watch this again, as you can repeat this throughout the year. You can do it in a way that you can take some oil, some scented oil, baby oil, or canola oil, it doesn't matter, olive oil, and do it as a blessing, as an anointing on yourself. But I'll just move through the words for it now and invite you to follow along. Take a deep breath. Ring the bell for clarity again. Place your hands either at the side of your eyes or over your eyes like that. I have to keep mine open to read, but place them here or here as an anointing and a focus on your eyes as you take a deep breath. I now free my eyes to see clearly and fully the path of my highest well-being. I now free my eyes to see fully and clearly the path of my highest well-being. I free myself to see the highest and the best in everyone that I meet. And I know that everywhere that I look, I see the face of God. And now place your hands on your ears, maybe on the back of your ears like this, so that you can still hear, or maybe on your earlobes, right? And say to yourself, I now free my ears to hear life's song, singing through the wind of the trees and the birds of the air and the waves of the ocean, through the lips of those that I meet on my journey. I release and loose in me the gift of hearing the essence of each person's unique message. Yes. And now place your hands on your lips and say silently to yourself, I now free my lips to speak words of sensitivity, compassion, and truth, to speak clearly and honestly and powerfully to my true nature, and to honor through my speaking the true nature of all that I meet. And now place your hands on your forehead and say to yourself, my mind is now free to think expansive, visionary thoughts and to dream fully and richly of my highest potential. My thoughts are the tools from which I fashion my tomorrows. And now place both of your hands on your heart. My heart is open and expanding to embrace life with passion and intensity that heals and empowers me and creates vibrancy and aliveness for myself and for all those around me. Now maybe just give yourself a hug. I know that my body is my home. I love it. I honor it. I listen to it, for it contains wisdom and insight and will work with me towards my greatest well-being. From this day forward, I will nurture and cherish it just the way that it is. And I am grateful that it expresses my highest good. And now know that all of your accomplishments and contributions are created through spirit and the intelligence of the universe, and that intelligence is greater than you are. And through your intentions, through your focus, through your commitment, through your journaling, through your looking through the lens of connection, growing, serving, and giving, there is a fulfillment path that is unfolding even now as you focus on this intention for this year. It cannot be stopped. It is inevitable because it is Spirit's way of having its way as you this year. You belong. Thank you. God bless you. Let's have a great year together. I love you all. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, Reverend David. Thank you so much for that wonderful sermon on commitment to the vision, on committing to the vision. Also, I love that you belong, because as we all are expressions of that one power and that one presence, expressing as ourselves, being ourselves and being free to be ourselves is the greatest gift that we can give to ourselves and to the world, really. So thank you for that so much, and I look forward to participating in that class. This is our grateful giving portion of the service. And we are so grateful for Reverend David, for this community, and for all the people that support it and what we receive from them. So we're asking those of you and appreciating those of you who do give and on tithing or on a regular basis. We appreciate you and we love you. And those of you who are new to the community and interested in giving, all the information is on the screen right now, the way you can give through texting or online or, mailing a check. Always are appreciated. And we're grateful for what you do for the community and how you support the community. We also would like to remind you that you can pick up the 2012 Spiritual Guide at the center today from 12:30 to 2, or if you're unable to make that time, you can come again tomorrow from 10 to 3. So if you're interested in picking up your spiritual guide, the center's open today from 12:30 to 2 and tomorrow from 10 to 3. All right, now if you will join with me in reciting the grateful giving affirmation. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.